So, box another. Aku nyemai buat anak saya. Dia kopi dulu. Dah memang kopi dulu. Kopi dulu boleh sudah. Saya fikir linda yo kopi. Saya fikir linda yo kopi. Saya buat di mic. No, ini lebaran. Pisau. The technicians, are you done? We are waiting on you. Saibo. Yes, and yeah. Perfect. The mic is not working. Your mic. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me seize this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude for all of you coming to attend this important gathering. Before I start on the introduction of the people that we have on the high table, I'll seize this opportunity to ask each and every one of us for us to pray in our individual prayers, and we can continue with the rest of the activities. And before prayers, please, I seize the opportunity once more to apologize for the late start of the activity due to one or two reasons, but the rest assured that we live in this hall very soon. So we can pray in our individual ways. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me seize this opportunity to acknowledge the invited stakeholders and representatives from various institutions that we have here this morning to attend the launch of the Migrant Media Action Project in the Gambia. I want to start with the gentleman at my right. That is no other person but Bakari Sonko. Bakari is the programs coordinator for Peace of the Gambia. And because of Peace of the Gambia, that the Migrant Media Action Project is taking place in the Gambia because the partnership that they've signed with Rock Agency in Germany. So we want to seize this opportunity to thank Peace of the Gambia for being an institution that have set the pace in terms of partnership with other institutions outside, but also demonstrating professionalism in their work throughout these years. So Bakari, thank you very much, and we are happy to see you on this project launch. After Bakari, I will introduce the Commissioner for Immigrations, West Coast Region, who also leave all his busy schedule to come and attend this important launch. Migration is a global phenomenon, and we have people in our institutions that are ready to always answer to our calls, especially when issues of this magnitude have been discussed at public forums. So, Commissioner, we are grateful to have you this morning, and we hope at the end of the day, we'll be able to learn one or two things from you as well. From there, I'll also proceed to the Deputy Police Commissioner, who also representing the Commissioner for Police in this project launch. And the Commissioner couldn't make it, but decided to be deputized by his deputy, which we embrace and cherish very well. And we are happy that they've also leave all their schedules to be with us here this morning. So Deputy Commissioner, you are highly welcome to this project launch. After the Police Commissioner, I also want to introduce the Deputy Governor of West Coast Region, who is no other person but Honorable Amul Nyasi. It's a household name in the region, and I think most of you have, one way or the other, crossed paths with him in terms of addressing the issues of young people in this region. And we are very much excited to have him this morning, and we'll be rest assured that he is going to give the launching statement of the Migrant Media Project in the Gambia, and the support of this office, I know, will not be lacking in terms of the implementation of this project. So the governor asked the deputy governor to come and give this launching statement. We acknowledge the role they've played in making sure young people of these regions are able to make informed decisions that are very much relevant to their own situations. Distinguished colleagues from media representatives, Media House, 8 Media House are present here. We want to seize this opportunity to acknowledge your presence. Staffs from the governor's office, from different institutions that are here, I want to seize this opportunity to welcome all of you to this important launch. Colleagues that work in various youth groups, civil society organizations that are here with us. Staffs from Peace of the Gambia that are also with us here, we sincerely acknowledge your presence. The media that is here to give a coverage, we also want to acknowledge your presence to attend this important gathering. I will give a short description of the Migrant Media Project, why the Migrant Media Project, and why this project came into existence. So Migrant Media Project it's an 18 months project initiative to promote safe migration practices in the Gambia. The project is a community-based initiative. That is why you've not seen us in hotels or in other places, but we've decided to do this launching at regional levels. And we're doing this, the first launching is starting in West Coast. We'll be going to NBR on Wednesday to do another launching. From there, we'll be going to LRR for another launching. Then we'll be going to Upper River region for another launching. But we start with West Coast region, and we are happy that we are able to have very high-profile individuals who come and attend this. So this 18-month project, funded by the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, BMZ, aims to improve migration competence and reporting skills in media organizations, communities in the Gambia. So the project has been focused on research. We've started this project with an empirical basic research to be able to understand the issues that are related to migration in our communities. How do media relate to the communities, but how do communities also perceive information from the media, so that we are able to compile this and be able to use it as a guide in terms of the migration trainings that we will do in our various communities. So the project has been focused on research, developing and sharing media programs and sensitization on migrations to promote safe migration opportunities, positive alternatives, freedom of expression, and access to migration information. So Migrants Media Action seeks to address the challenges posed by the spread of misinformation on social media, which often glorifies irregular migration as it downplays its risks. Through comprehensive training for journalists, and improve access to reliable information system, we aim to change the migration discourse in the Gambia, moving from a narrative of desperations and risks to one of the informed decision-making and positive local alternatives. The project will work with media organizations, community leaders, and other stakeholders to enhance the quality of migration reporting, highlighting both the dangers of irregular migrations and the opportunities available through legal migration channels. By promoting safe migration practices and providing accurate information, Migrant Media Action aims to empower potential migrants to make informed choices and contribute to the economic development of their countries. The media plays a critical role in shaping public discourse. Media channels, both local and international, have often focused on sensational stories of migrants, successes in Europe, or tragic deaths, without providing comprehensive, balanced narratives that inform the public of safe migration options and local opportunities for economic growth. These skewed representations fosters unrealistic expectations about the opportunities available abroad while neglecting the grave risks associated with irregular migration routes. So I think this particular portion, we could all reflect just few moments ago in this country. We realized that a lot of things has happened, and the need for us to be able to engage with the media house so that the media is able to communicate to the communities on the realities that exist in the ground. I think that is very timely. In recent years, efforts to promote media literacy and train journalists on reporting migration issues have increased, but the gap remains. There is a need for more consistent and widespread media coverage that focuses on the realities. The realities or legal migration pathways. This project, focusing on media trainings and access to information system, aims to fill that gap by equipping journalists with the skills and tools to report on migration comprehensively. Additionally, it seeks to provide potential migrants and their families with accurate, timely information about the dangers of irregular migrations, as well as safe and viable alternatives, especially those that exist in this Gambia. With improved media access, potential migrants can better understand the challenges and opportunities within their local context. Furthermore, media platforms can play a pivotal role in promoting positive narratives about local jobs, creations, and economic growth, shifting the focus from migration as a whole solution to poverty. And I am happy that most of the media houses that are present here, these are media houses that we've interacted with them during our community research, the empirical basic research that we've conducted in our communities. Because we did this because we want these media people tell us about the reporting that they do in their media houses. And we will be able to relate what are the gaps that exist. So this project came as a result of some of those gaps that exist in our media houses and also in our communities. How do we consolidate efforts with stakeholders in our various regions to be able to synchronize our activities and be able to address these issues that we are confronted with. So the media houses that we've interacted with that are here, I must use the opportunity once more to thank you for the comprehensive interaction that you did with our team, specifically myself, to be able to uncover some of the realities that exist in our communities and some of them that we find it very difficult to talk about. And most of the community members that are also here, we've interacted with you in your various communities. And through these interactions, we've developed a migration guide. And immediately after the opening ceremony, the media and few people from those communities will stay for us to go over the guide that they've participated in developing, so that they'll be able to compare whether some of the information they've given in the community, do we have those realities in the document? And what do they think reflect the realities of the Gambia? How do we localize it to our context so that even an old woman from Kafuta or Bara will be able to read and understand, because we will have it in Mandinka, we'll have it in Wolof, and we'll have it in English Slavic. So this is basically an idea so that we make sure information is available and people make informed choices whenever they want to travel. So the project also did not discourage people from traveling. Migration is a right and everyone has a right to travel. So people have right to travel, but we are promoting safe and orderly migrations. So on that note, this is what I have for the project introductory. I will now allow Mr. Bakar Sonko, who is the project partner to Migrant Media Actions that has been secured by Road Agency, to give a statement on behalf of his office. Bakar, so would you want to sit or you want to come there? If you want to sit, I can just move this.
Use the entire Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. To run this project that has actually been ongoing for the past month. Peace Hub, the Gambia as a peace building organization, our work is basically centered on advancing the meaningful participation of young people in peace and development process. You might be questioning why is a peace building organization engaged in migration? As a lot of us that would understand, and I'm sure that Mustafa Sonko, who is the migration expert, will agree with me that migration is not only a developmental issue; it's also a peace issue, because it's about dignity, it's about rights, and it's about the welfare of people. And as the theory of conflict, which also taught us that power is at the cross section in which political conflict also happens. But migration is not only a political decision; it's a social issue as well. So as young people, it's important that we try to find ways in which we can also share accurate and also timely information. So this project, like Lamin Sane highlighted, is beyond what we say about migration. It's also how we discuss about migration. Migration, like all of us know, is a human right, that people should be able to move from one place to another. But in as much as it's human right, it's also important that for migration to be done in a safe and orderly manner. We all know migration is a critical issue. And most of the time, if you talk to young people about migration, the only thing that they see is opportunities. Because everybody wants to be in a better position than they are today, tomorrow. So if I am National Programs Coordinator at Peace Hub the Gambia today, tomorrow I am looking forward for a bigger position. And migration has a way in that. But this project, basically, it's about how do we sell the idea of migration to our young people. That as media practitioners, as stakeholders in this regard, how do we tell the stories of migration? It's beyond someone going to Bagwe, it's beyond someone moving from Gambia to the US or anywhere. It's about how do we actually translate the idea of migration and make migration safe for the people that have little or no idea about migration. So they will say, changing hearts and minds one person at a time takes generation. But with few keystrokes, one can change the hearts of a whole community. And that's where the intersection of media personalities stand. So the idea that this migration, this project is meant to ensure that most of us as media practitioners, how do we tell the stories? How do we also strengthen the idea that migration should be safe? And how do you also make sure that those people that read from us or our followers are able to understand that beyond the idea that we have the right to migrate from one place to another, we also have the right to make sure that migration is safe. So these are some of the things that this migrant action project is here to elaborate on. The other one also is about stakeholder unification or stakeholder collaboration. We all know immigration issues are handled by the Gambia Immigration Department. However, it doesn't only mean that they are the ones charged with the responsibility by the Constitution. It requires all of us to come together and work together. That providing information and ensuring that information is able to reach the people that deserves it the most. There are young people that are currently with the aim of ensuring that they move from this country. It's because they have reason. It's not like a lot of young people are leaving because they want to leave, because they are in the search for dignity, they are in the search for stability, and they are in the search to ensure that whatever they want to do, they live a life that is worth living. While no one has control over the life that you are living, but we have responsibility over how we want to live the life we want to achieve. So as young people, it's also important that we're able to create that synergy between us and the institutions that serve our interests. So this project, like Lamin highlighted, is meant to ensure that none of us are able to, because the moment people don't have access to accurate information, they become vulnerable to misinformation. And when misinformation becomes the information that people get, then chaos, of course, have a way in our society. And a society that feeds on misinformation is a society that is bound to be chaotic. There is no way that we can improve our society without accurate information. For you, for me, it does not matter who you are, whether you are the police commissioner. If misinformation about you continue to spread, no one respects whatever order that you give, because the only thing that becomes accurate to people is the misinformation that comes from your end. So migration is a phenomenon, and is phenomenal, and it becomes a charged conversation that is very, very sensitive in our communities. Families have lost people to migration. We have seen community lost a lot of people migration. Few months down the line, we've seen what had happened in Nyomi, and we've seen how the Gambia has become a safe space for migrant trafficking. How a lot of young people would now use our peripheries to ensure that they make to the Atlantic Ocean. But these are things that we can change. These are narratives that we can shape. Our country is bigger than this. The Gambia is more beautiful than this. Despite the challenges that we have, we cannot change it through unsafe migration. We cannot change the status quo of this country by ensuring that we go on journeys that are very threatening to our life and livelihood. You know, I remember during the national dialogue, the recently concluded national dialogue, said Mati Jau said something very, very honest, and I think it's a brutal truth, that which I believe a lot of us young people don't want to hear. And migration is not lucrative. Especially unsafe migration, it's not lucrative. It doesn't matter what others have done, and you cannot convince me that that migration would become safer or become a safe haven especially for people that know what happened in Europe and the Americas. Some of us that had the opportunity to at least visit a few countries around the world, we know that migration is not as lucrative as they put it to us. But who are you to make someone believe who has never experienced what you have experienced? That's why experience is not taught; it is lived. So the lived experience of a lot of people about migration becomes a challenge for us to shape narrations that continue to inspire our young people to take on this journey. So my parting words would be that we stand at a very, very pivotal juncture as media practitioners, as stakeholders that are leading young people. A lot of young people today can never believe in what we do. A lot of young people we cannot convince them, but what we can do, at least as projects demand, development studies will always tell us that project is meant to change what behavior and attitude. We might not be able to inspire everyone to sit with us and make things happen in this country, but at least the few people that we can talk to by our efforts can go a long way to create impact. We don't have to lose lives just because our young people don't believe in what the future of this country holds. We don't have to lose life because our young people don't believe in the fact that their change is solely going to happen. We don't have to lose life because our young people have lost all that confidence and hope that is left with us. Like Dean Maxwell would say, tell me the sentiments that occupies the minds of your younger generation, and I will give you and I will tell you the characteristics of your future. What is going through the minds of our young people? What are our young people thinking? These are narratives, and these are beliefs that we need to try to shape through our engagement with them, through our interaction with them, so that we can change them and also inspire change for now. Because this is for us and for our people for now and for the future. So whatever we do today is going to shape the reality of the country that we look forward to see. So on that note, I want to thank each and everyone for coming here. It's Ramadan, and we don't intend to keep you here long. And we pray that Allah accept our fast and protect us from unsafe migration and grant us goodness in this world and the hereafter. So on that note, thank you very much, and I rest. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Margaret. That was a good one.
Oh, sorry.
So thank you very much, Bakari, for that deliberations on behalf of the country partner office, Peace of the Gambia. Like I said earlier, this program, Peace Ops signed a partnership with ROC Agency. ROC is an agency that is based in Berlin, and this particular project is being funded by the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development. And we want to see this opportunity to commend them for supporting this important crusade. So now I will also invite the regional immigration officer to also give few remarks with regards to the launch of this particular activity that we are doing. So, Commissioner, if that is comfortable with you, I can just bring you this. You see. Oh, I already set the pace, so.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, Governor of West Coast Region, Osman Boya, who is ably represented by his deputy, Amun Nyasi, service chiefs here present, representatives of the ROC Agency, and Peace of the Gambia. Distinguished guests, members of the media, civil society organizations, community leaders, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols duly and respectfully observed. I am deeply honored to be invited to this important occasion, marking the first official launch of the Migration Media Action project in West Coast Region, aimed at strengthening migratory literacy and promote freedom of expression while ensuring that information disseminated is credible and accurate. These are the pillars of a society that protects its people. Let me begin by expressing sincere appreciation to Peace of the Gambia and ROC Agency, Germany, and the Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development of the Federal Republic of Germany for the timely and impactful initiative. The vision behind this project is not only commendable, but necessary and timely. Today we gather at a moment when migration remains one of the most defining realities of our time. Recent migration trends serve as an evidence to the narratives. It is a reality shaped by hope, hardship, opportunity, and tragedy. Therefore, any information about migration must be anchored on facts, dignity, truth, empathy, matured and collaborative responsibility. As immigration authorities, our mandate is to secure or to ensure safe, orderly, and regular migration while safeguarding national security and upholding to international best practice. However, we also recognize that migration governance cannot be achieved by statutory legal enforcement alone, but it requires collaborative partnership, awareness, accurate and responsive information gathering and sharing, social inclusiveness, and trust. The Gambia Immigration Department, particularly in West Coast region, stand ready to collaborate with the media, civil society, youth groups, and all stakeholders to ensure that the public is well informed about migration realities. The dangers of irregular migration are real. Too many young people have perished at sea, too many families have been shattered, too many dreams have ended in silence, and too many loved ones were impatient, anticipating to hear the echo of voices of missing ones. But let me say this clearly. No dream is worth a life. The media therefore plays a crucial role, not just in reporting events, but in shaping national consciousness. Ethical and responsible migration reporting is not an option, but a duty that would add onto the counter-narratives for safe and regular migration. And I quote, "The pen can either protect the vulnerable, nor expose them to danger." West Coast region is one of the most dynamic regions in the Gambia. It is a hub of youth, mobility, commerce, and opportunity. This is why launching this noble project here is not a strategic, but it is impactful. I commend the organizers and partners of this initiative, and I urge all stakeholders present today to use this project for shared responsibility. In conclusion, I want to highlight that the fight against irregular migration is not a battle for one institution, but it is a mission for the entire nation. And I thank you all for listening.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Commissioner, Gambia Immigrations Department, West Coast Region. It seems the Commissioner have taken months reading about this project. His speech really aligns with the work that we do in communities, to work with partners, to work with media houses in ensuring that we bridge the gap that exists in our communities, but also encourage all citizens, CSOs, and any other partner to be very much critical when it comes to credible information sharing. So we are happy, Commissioner, to have you on board, and I am really excited that you've given a very, very powerful statement. Thank you for your coming. So I would also want to invite the Deputy Commissioner for Police to also give a short statement on behalf of his boss, who's supposed to be here. So, Deputy Commissioner, you are welcome.
Assalamu alaikum. The Deputy Governor, Commissioner, Immigration, Mr. Sonko, long time workmate and partner. Thank God we've met on another platform of very great relevance into society. This is a very simple phenomenon. That is a menace in our country, and we know that this migration, which is as old as humanity, is now taking a turn that is definitely harming our community, harming our society. And yes, it's being talked about, but it can only become a bigger social problem when the media focuses on it. And the media focusing on this will help at least not eliminate it, but discourage the harmful side of it. That's the risk that is being taken that has led to a loss of life, a great loss of life to almost every family in this country. The immigration department, like the police force, and concerned members of almost all these communities on the coastal sides along the riverine areas of this country, collaborate and pass information. Fine, that is fine. But this information is only passed after action is taken or steps have been taken towards going into this activity, that is migrating. But with the media, they have all the time, they have all the platforms to disseminate information, collaborate with the community, collaborate with the security forces, collaborate with any other agency that is an actor in these migration activities. Once they come together, give the relevant information that is needed. We don't promote it. We know there are options, but those options are overshadowed by the most risky part of it, that is using the pathway, going through the desert, a lot of conflicts going on. We know that even before we were born, we know that a lot of Gambians were being recruited into terrorist groups. We know it around Libya. They were used in places like Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast, Liberia, Sierra Leone. How did they get there? It was through the back way. And we still know that some of our own people are being enslaved in some of these countries. They sell them as slaves. Where are they going to end up? On farms, possibly? Possibly where? In wars, conflicts in West Africa here. People volunteer as mercenaries. Much more if they force them. Now what can they do? All hopes get shattered, such that they can even use it as a way of life. They can use it as their own skillful way of earning money, earning a living. So once we know the impacts of this uncalled for activity, that is the migration, then we'll be able to now educate the community, give them informed options that they can take and not get into this dangerous journey of using the sea or land. Sometimes they get into boats that get deflated before they reach their destination. Most of them survive because they meet with the security of the other nations before these plastic boats get deflated on the waters, on the high seas, and they are saved. 3/4 of them come back, the other quarter succeeds. So if you look at the number that succeeds, you should be discouraged. So this is the information that we need to be disseminated, so that people will now look at the options. If those options are not available, then you look for other options of making a living. But if everybody within that circle of the cream of our society gets into this dangerous journey and we lose them, like we are losing them, who is going to replace those who are peddling, those who are moving us in this country now? They will not be there. It is something that may look minute, very small, but you can discuss this the whole day, you will not finish it because of its importance. So we'll urge, therefore, the media fraternity to ensure that they give relevant information, the information that we need, not to promote those everything just like that. No. You look at those that are relevant, that are helpful to us. We try to disseminate that information. Discourage the one that you are supposed to counter, you know them, that is the one that is leading to the death. But migration has to continue. There is no one who can stop it. Nobody can stop migration. People have to move for a greener pasture. Sometimes in the way of going, you're hoping to have greener pasture, but you're not going to get greener pasture at the end of the day. In fact, we have a lot of poor people there. We do know the last time we lost some two youths, two young boys who just fought over a football match. And how did they go? They got through this dangerous journey to Europe. Forgot about the reason why they were there, and then killed each other. All this is happening. So we need therefore education. This education comes from ourselves. But we know that those who have access, more access to the community and every other actor is the media. This is what prompted this program. So we collaborate together and we'll be successful. Thank you so much.
It couldn't be better said, like the Deputy Commissioner put it. We need to come together to be able to address these challenging issues that our society is confronted with. And this can only happen when the media that plays a critical role in information dissemination is able to share informations that are going to help people to make informed decisions. And in his statement, he made mention of, when you look at the media intervention in our communities, in most of the times, the way we discuss issues on migrations are most of the times reactionary. It is usually when incidents happen, we talk about them. Within 2 weeks, it died down. So we forgot that there is an issue that we need to discuss. So I think, I like that part that the conversation needs to go beyond when a boat capsizes. We should have a long-term plan of how do we make sure the society understand the issues that are related to youth irregular migrations. And I am sure this is a beginning of the conversations. With the data we've analyzed so far, and from the conversation we have with the media houses, some of the important messages that we've derived from those interactions can be very helpful. And during the presentation of the migration guide, you'll come to see the realities of what exists in our communities, both at the level of the media and at the level of the community. So thank you very much, Deputy Commissioner. We are happy to have you here. And the Commissioner made no mistake of appointing you to come and deputize him in this particular event. So before the Deputy Governor gives the long statement, there is no female in our high table. And now somebody is supposed to give a vote of thanks. So I will allow Binta Jaju, who is a journalist for Kairangini Community Radio, on behalf of the media to come and give a vote of thanks. Then the Deputy Governor will give the long statement. and we go out for a photo session. Binta, you are welcome. Just few words.
The Deputy Governor for West Coast Region, who is deputizing the Governor for West Coast Region, Honorable Commissioners from the Gambia Immigration and also from the Gambia Police Force, staff of the Peace of the Gambia, distinguished guests, partners, colleagues from the media, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of all participants, I have the honor to deliver the vote of thanks for this important gathering marking the official launch of the Migrants Media Action Project here in West Coast Region. First, we sincerely appreciate and thank the project partners, that is the Rock Agency and Peace of the Gambia, for their vision and commitment to promoting safe and orderly migration, and also providing by promoting credible information and collaboration. We also extend our deep appreciation to the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development for funding this important and meaningful initiative. Our sincere appreciation also goes to the country coordinator, who is Lamin Sane, the West Coast Regional Immigration Commissioner, Commissioner H. Dame, and then the Deputy Police Commissioner, DSO, and all speakers who have shared valuable contribution this morning. Your contribution has strengthened our understanding of the role we play in ensuring safe migration practices. We also thank the organizers, the technical staff, media houses all here present, the CSOs, community representatives, and all participants for your presence and active engagement during this project. May this project continue to strengthen our collaboration between the media and also the community, the stakeholders. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Binta. I know some feminists will now be happy that at least a woman has also taken the podium to talk about the issues that we are going to discuss. So just to fast track things a bit, because we have a lot of work to do, I will now officially invite the Deputy Governor for West Coast Region to give the launch statement. Honorable Governor, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Lamin. Assalamu alaikum. Let me say Ramadan Mubarak to my Muslim brothers and sisters. And if there is any Christian in our midst, I will say Blessed Lent. Don't mind my notebook. I have a 20-page statement to read because you asked me to deputize the governor. So I'm left with no choice but to spend a sleepless night trying to put up a statement. Well, let me first begin by standing on the existing protocols, but I will also recognize the organizers of this particular event, which is very important. Mr. Lamin and his colleagues, Bakary and his organization, the sponsors or donors from the Federal Republic of Germany, Police Commissioner, deputized by Dembaso, the Deputy Police Commissioner, Commissioner Immigration, Mr. Hamadi Jammeh, the media that would play a very important role and a pivotal role as far as this 18-month 18 months project is concerned, and to the communities who took part in the research by providing vital information, took all their time to attend to Lamin and his team. We applaud you for taking it up as a concern to all of us. What I want to say is that the governor would have graced this launching, but unfortunately he has traveled to Banjul, and Mondays normally are busy days for him because he attends management meetings and deputizes the entire regional governors, being the closest governor to the ministry. Ladies and gentlemen, we will all agree that our country, the Gambia, would not want to accept any liability from any country. The same thing applies to the West. No country would want to accept a liability. You want to go to a foreign country, you don't have the academic qualification to secure an office job. You don't have the skills. Which country on earth will accept you? It's not going to happen. And let's convince our young people. Let us make them understand that they can make it in this country. Fortune will not come overnight. It's a process, and you must work for it. But we are always hesitant to make wealth to the extent we want to go and compromise our lives, take the risk between life and death. We talk about how many people died. We talk about how many people died and their bodies were never discovered. But it's good when we know that a relative of yours have died, even whereas the body was not discovered. But how many young people are languishing in criminal jails, not in state jails, but criminal jails, where they are subjected to torture. They are subjected to all kind of inhuman discrimination in the name of your parents, your friends, your relatives will have to send me something before we release you. That's the saddest part of it. So we have to engage our young people. We have to let them know that one must try to live a dignified life. As the saying goes, it's better to die in poverty than richness in slavery. What would worth it? I personally would not venture into any journey where I will be subjected to all forms of indiscrimination, to all forms of human torture. No wealth on earth will warrant me venture into such. But the media, you have a lead role to play. Good, our media houses, in most cases, not all, are good in disseminating information of there is a boat that have capsized. This number of Gambians died. What have you done to sensitize those young people not to embark on such a journey? We were aware of instances where young people would be harbored in incomplete structures. The Commissioner of Immigration is here. Now, Funi in West Coast region, they harbor them in the bush. Somebody with your right senses, they keep you in the bush for a week, 2 weeks, for a month, with the pretext that we will help you travel to Europe. You still believe in that person. I think if you are in your right mind, you should start asking yourself, what I am doing, is it something that I should embark on? Or is something that I should reflect and see a way out? I don't believe in the adage that he is a school dropout. Yes, he did not complete his educational career, but that doesn't make him a failure in life. He can venture into something else. Some of you are blessed to attain the highest level of education, but there are others that have not attained the highest level of education, but today they are moving about life and they are impacting on lives of other people. That is the thinking. We have to put a stop to it. We cannot stop it completely, just like the Deputy Police Commissioner highlighted or alluded to. There is no way that we can stop migration. Migration is part of our life, and we must migrate. But we must migrate with dignity. We must migrate and be respected in whichever community we go to. But we cannot migrate and then our rights are seized. We cannot migrate and we are subjected to torture. When are we going to desist from that? It's high time we start reflecting on, should I migrate? If I am to migrate, which route should I use? It was illegal migration, and now it's beautified irregular migration. But still, the inhuman torture is there. So is it illegal or is it irregular? Whichever we may choose to call it is up to us. I will try to bring you the, did I say 10 or 20? I said 20.
Yeah.
Okay. I may shorten it to 5 then. Sometimes I want to force myself and read without using the glasses, but I struggle a lot. But this is my own handwriting. I think I'll be able to.
I wanted to remind you, because I see you struggling.
I want to try and see. This is my own handwriting. I think I should be able to read without using the glasses. We stand at the crossroads of change, where the movement of people demands our attention, compassion, and action. Migration is a global phenomenon that touches us all, shaped by the forces of conflict, climate change, and the pursuit of a better life. Today, we commit to understanding the complexities, addressing the challenges, and harnessing the opportunities that migration presents. Today, we launch a call for action on migration, recognizing for inherent dignity and work of every individual on the move. As we acknowledge the complex interplay between human rights and economic realities, we commit to promote safe, orderly, and human migration practices. Millions are forced to flee their homes, seeking safety, opportunity, and a chance to thrive. We must address the root causes of migration, protect the vulnerable, and harness the economic potential of migration to drive growth, innovation, and development. Let's work together to ensure that migration is a choice, not a necessity. A pathway to prosperity, not a route to exploitation. We owe it to ourselves, our communities, and our future generations to get this right. There is no force for us to migrate. But of course, if we are to migrate, we must first ask ourselves, first, why must I migrate? What benefit is attached to it? What are the challenges associated to it? When we reflect, we are able to come up with an informed decision. And once we make an informed decision, we take the right direction. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Gambia is not an exemption to the challenges confronted by our young people in moving for a better survival. The government alone cannot curb the migration trend, but it requires collective and concerted effort. That is why we must applaud Lamin and his team, Bakari and his team, as young as they are, they felt that they also have a role to play in sensitizing the young. Let them understand that migration does not require one sacrifice in your life, but instead, migration requires you to use the route where your humanity will be safeguarded, your dignity will be safeguarded, and that you will be treated like a human being to the countries where you intend to move to. Meeting here to launch this project is not by default, but it's by design. And I think the project would not have been better launched in any region other than the West Coast region. On that note, on behalf of the governor, on behalf of the entire people of the West Coast region, I want to seize the opportunity to thank the organizers, to thank the donors, and assure you that this office is always available to give you the support that you may desire from us. Thank you. So it's not 20 but 5.
So the project has been officially launched by the Deputy Governor, so the Migrant Media Action Project in West Coast region. So we hope we will succeed at launching this project in other regions subsequent days to come. So on that note, I want to seize this opportunity to acknowledge the presence of our regional chairperson, Mr. Amadou Kamara. Mr. Kamara, you're welcome. So, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of this particular opening ceremony, and I want to seize this opportunity on behalf of Rock Agency and its partner country, Peace of the Gambia, and the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development for supporting this important project. This 18-month project is going to local communities to make sure that information sharing, especially on credible information, is seen as a viable option in terms of addressing youth irregular migration in our community. So on that note, I thank each and every one of you for coming, from the Deputy Governor to the commissioners, and also media and CSOs and media that are all here. We thank you for honoring our invitations, and we hope we are going to collaborate to be able to consolidate our efforts in addressing issues surrounding youth irregular migration. So on that note, so before I conclude, we have a migration expert within our midst, who is Mustafa Paragon Songo, who is the programs manager for NYSS. Mustafa is going to lead the migration guide presentation. So immediately after the opening ceremony, he's continuing with few media houses and also few members of the communities that we've done the interaction with. So on that note, I seize the opportunity to thank you once more for coming to this important gathering. So let's take a photo session outside, then from there we can disperse.